Not gonna lie, I'm really nervous. And I was also told to start with a joke. So, how much do polar bears weigh? Enough to break the ice. Okay. I'm Nikki Greer. I am a freshman in college. I go to Montgomery County Community College. My own personal path with Christ, I found Christ in 9th grade. I started going by choice to a youth group and ended up falling in love. In about 7th grade, I started questioning my sexuality. It's been a hard path since then. Around 11th grade, I started identifying myself and I came out as a lesbian. And I was in a church and I felt loved and I felt so part of the family. My pastor and I were really close. We would have this discussion all the time. We would talk about it. I would talk about my fears and anxieties, but my feelings of, so much drive and compassion to telling people it's okay. In 12th grade, I came out to my youth group fully, and they did not take it so kindly. The next week, I was not in that youth group, and I was asked nicely to leave. If you can ask someone nicely to leave the youth group. So that's my own personal path with coming out in a church. It was horrible. My faith stayed strong with Christ, and I ended up co-pastoring kind of career. It was a career study program at my high school, and I ended up at St. Luke's in Trapp, and this is how I met Kate, and this is how I got involved with this church and the Open Affirming process, which I think is awesome. So today, I picked Isaiah 43:18-19 because Christ is calling change. He's calling great things and great change to this church. New ways to show his love. And I feel as though churches lose sight of what love truly is. Love to me is loving everyone who walks through those doors, whether they're gay or straight, no matter their past, no matter what they're going to do tomorrow. I believe people make mistakes, and I believe people are born different than other people. I believe I was born different, but I also believe it's not a mistake, or it's a sin, or the devil is living inside me. The things that you hear all the time. God is calling this church to grow and to accept new things that he's calling. And for this, he's calling love. He's calling people to love others, simply put like that. There are definitely churches that do not accept it, and I am very greatly aware of that. And I am very greatly aware that some churches are just not going to get there anytime soon. But this church, Kate and I have been working together, and Kate has been telling me amazing things. And this church feels ready. This is what I want to do with my life. This is where I want to go. I want to come to a church and say, hey, it's okay to be who you are, because Jesus is okay with it, and Jesus still loves you. So many people lose sight of that. So many people are so broken to think that Jesus would not love you for who you are. But that is so far beyond any message he's ever preached in the Bible, ever. This church is so ready to just take that step and say, hey, this is what Jesus is saying now. This is what Jesus is saying now. He's saying, you can come in here and you can be accepted into this family. And you can have every right to make a family of your own no matter which way. It's amazing to me that people can lose sight of the true word. It is truly amazing to me. And I believe, it's always going to happen. We're sinners, we're going to fall away. But there's no reason to push someone outside of a church because they identify differently. Just because they're gay, I'll simply say that word. That word isn't wanted. No one wants to say that word in the church, but that's who I am. That's who I was meant to be, and that is who God is calling me to be. God is calling me to be this amazing person, to love others, and I might just happen to also love another woman while I do it. And you know what? I am so blessed. I am so blessed that God has given me this amazing insight. And because I have this insight, I can come up here and say, hey, do you guys have this insight yet? Because it's amazing to say that no matter who you are loved by Jesus, and no matter who you are, you're welcomed into this church. Because that's what churches are about. They're about love and showing who Jesus is and growing together. And you can't grow together if you're losing sight of someone because of who they are, if you're making someone sit in the back because they're not really wanted here. That's not how a church works. A church is a family. Think group hugs and just amazingness. I don't know how to explain the feeling that I had in my old youth group, where I knew I could be trusted, and I knew I could trust others. And when that trust was broken, and my heart was broken, thank the Lord I did not fall away from Him. And it's amazing to me that someone could say, Jesus does not love you because of who you are. Someone actually told me that Jesus would never call me to a life that I am living. And that is so far from true. God is calling me to be the person I am right now. I'm going into ministry, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about LGBT issues in the church and how no matter what, Jesus loves us. And this church is ready. This church is ready to step forward and say, okay, so we accept this now. And we're ready to start letting people in our church that aren't accepted in any other churches in this area. And it's going to be an amazing feeling. I promise you that Jesus is going to just be in these walls, and the Spirit of Christ is going to be here so much, and you're going to see new followers and new members because they finally feel accepted somewhere, and they finally feel they have a place to love Jesus and create a family with other Jesus lovers, because that is something that LGBTs do not find often. And it hurts. And it really sucks. And I've been down that path, and it's horrible. And I do not want that to happen to anyone else. And I'm just so excited to see where this church goes in the way that God is calling them, calling you to try this new thing, to say, hey, we love you no matter what. And accepting everyone in your doors. And to be open affirming isn't just LGBT. It really is not. It's accepting anyone through those doors. And I just cannot wait to see where this church goes, how they grow, how you grow, and how you express your love to people that never felt love the way that you could express to them.